Hiring a sales rep, it can make or break your company. And so doing it right is huge, especially in a tech company where, an extra $1 million of ARR could mean an extra $7 to $15 million valuation for your business. So we want to make sure that you're able to do it well. And so in this video, I'll walk you through it. Cheers.
Here's what I think is really key is that no one really talks about in culture and hiring is like, if you can't talk to them and see the ownership from them on these things, and also their past results of these metrics, they're probably not the right hire. And so that's gonna get rid of like 90% of the candidates, probably 95. Very few people take ownership over the entire life cycle. Like when I've hired certain people, they'll go talk to everybody on my team and be like, okay, how do you get compensated? How can I help you make sure you hit your goals? How can I make sure the product department's hitting their goals? And they're like very ownership driven over everything. Like we were saying, even as interns, we're like fighting with the CEO on what needs to happen. That's the kind of culture you kind of want in your business. Not nosy, but supportive, right? And so we want to make sure that when you're doing your interviews, I think first you want to talk to them just, hey, how'd you do this at your last company? Do you have proof? How'd you track your numbers? The best people always come with like, that's their like batting average, that's their championship rings. They're like, yeah, 500,000 this month, 800,000 this month. This is the talk patterns I used. This is how I got into the aha moment. Like they're obsessed, right? But most people are not like that. They'll pretend to be like that, but they're not like that. They're not like us where we're like all day and night, we're thinking about our businesses, not having hobbies, which I found out all of us are except for Sudipta, are slacking on. So then when you're talking about values, like then you don't have to do the base values, like the behavioral values, right? You're talking about like the identity of who they are, what they stand for. And that's a very different conversation. Because laws are usually made for people that that break the law. You know what I mean? Like you don't make a law unless it's been broken. You don't proactively necessarily go out and be like, oh, you shouldn't kill people unless people are killing people, you know? So you want to make sure that that's where the values come from. So if we get into culture and hiring, would that be good for you guys at this point? Okay. And I'm thinking about doing this for like marketing and sales people specifically. Is there anything outside of that that you guys have on your minds, like operations managers or anything?
Operations manager.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, like operations manager, chief of staff type. Okay, so we can say sales.
Like pricing was one of them.
Yes, and I have that for later today. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. So we'll do it with the outbound engine because it matches with that. Okay,
At some point, can we touch the cap tables?
sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Yeah, let me write that down. And what do you want to know specifically about cap tables? Just like,
I mean, who's done it?
okay,
What people are doing about it, thinking about it,
okay,
companies, products. Not some, yeah, just like informal, right? But Jen, you did it, right? The whole, did you do Cardo or did you do?
I just figure for the cap table.
figure, yeah.
Super easy.
Okay, let's get into it like lunch or something, or after.
It works
Yeah.
just fine.
I have 75 employees and they all have some stock options, so I
Yeah,
can
I'm just-
figure.
It works to a certain level too, but then yes.
What's more on your guys' mind between hiring sales and marketing staff that consistently perform and increase your performance of the company, or a chief of staff that can like manage the sales, marketing, product departments? Can I get hands? So sales, marketing, product, or sales, marketing, yeah? Anyone chief of staff? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's do sales, marketing first, then chief of staff after. Okay, now between sales and marketing, sales, yeah? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, a lot of sales. Marketing? Okay, let's do sales first. What's going on with the sales hires? Are they not hitting their KPIs? Are they up and down? Like, what's the biggest problems you guys are seeing inside your businesses right now?
Just not hitting KPIs.
Not hitting KPIs. Okay. Closing faster. Yeah. Okay, and just keep in mind there's like people and process, right? So we're assuming the process is going to get fixed. Let's make sure you have the best people right now based on this exercise.
And this is, we're talking AE type of a role versus SDR type of a role?
Both. Both, yeah. But biggest problems, what would you say?
I mean, for us personally, it's probably just missing a function.
Okay.
Just missing the whole SDR type of a function.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? We had a lot of hands for sales, so what do you guys,
I think that's not closing fast enough.
not closing fast enough,
So
okay.
bringing them down to the bottom of the funnel,
Yeah,
but the closers need to be faster.
okay. Okay. Anything else? Is it just like not even knowing where to start when hiring salespeople? Is that for anyone? No?
We can, yeah, we can do
So,
that.
so, yes, but not for Monarch, but for something else, yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Just one more thing. I think I already know the answer, just wanted to confirm, because I was thinking about bringing in sales, but I kind of realized, well, if I'm exploring new markets, I probably should figure out the system myself first before
Yeah.
bringing anybody in. Right?
But let's assume the system gets figured out in the next month or two. So if that happens, what questions would you have?
Probably someone's on the board, hitting KPIs and closing fast.
Okay.
So SDRs are generating top of funnel, right? So you're mixing some top of funnel and end of funnel.
Yes. Yes.
Do it all.
Yeah, do it holistically. Yeah. Okay. What's the core issue that this is causing in your businesses? Is it cash in the bank? Is it growth rate? Both? Both? Yeah? Anyone both? Okay. Any issues on the sales side, Ram? Direct sales.
I'm setting up direct sales. My
Yeah.
channel sales, we are on full swing. So
Yeah.
I have no trouble with sales, but marketing and the other things are my problem.
Okay.
Operations is my problem, so this business sounds good.
Okay, go. Cool. Okay, so not enough cash and growth rate. Okay, now let's define cash. Is cash how much is increasing in the bank every month, or is it cash quarter on quarter, year on year? What's the core issue? Anyone monthly? Monthly cash is being affected? Yeah? All the above. Okay. Well, yeah, monthly would definitely affect the quarter and the year.
Not just enrollment.
Okay. Okay. So monthly cash. And then probably monthly growth then, right? Okay. The people on your teams, do they believe that they can increase cash every month? Is that belief prevalent within them right now? Yeah? Sometimes?
I think the first question then comes to me, have I met them?
Do they exist? These unicorns?
Most of the times we try to shield them from the cash scenario as we
Okay.
start.
Yeah.
But I think I'm trying to make them aware of the monthly cash numbers
Okay.
and hence,
Well, at the very least, they should know how much they get paid and how much they make, right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
they know that at some level,
That they know.
Yeah.
Obviously they know.
but they're probably not thinking about it.
But they're not thinking of it, especially some
Yeah.
of these functions are also at a level where they bring in the revenue for the others.
Yeah.
So I think that number needs to be, only then we can move to the next level, right? Right now, at least that's what I saw initially, I was holding it too tight.
Yeah.
I'm starting to let go, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about your team? Do people believe they can? I mean, they are. Yeah. Okay.
We're in that kind of switching phase, so we're
Yeah.
moving in that direction.
Nice. Quarter on quarter, are you increasing cash right now, or starting to? Starting
It's the
to.
direction we're heading.
Perfect.
Based on last week. So.
Perfect. Okay. So yours would be more quarter on quarter. Yeah. Because the problem is bad sales reps will just chill after a good month.
Yeah.
Be like, well, I did 100 grand last month. What are you complaining about? Like this month, you got to keep going. You got to keep growing. Okay. So they don't believe it's possible? I didn't check in with you.
They do.
They do?
They do.
Are they overconfident?
I think there's part of that.
Yeah.
Until you hit the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, they're like, we're going to close 12, and it's like
Right.
1, and you're like, oh, dude.
It's consistent.
That's the syndrome within business. I think
Okay.
they look at it, they think, yes, it's going great,
Yeah.
cash can come in, but sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's outside of the metrics, right? That's actually pipeline management and knowing. Yeah, pretend that says management. So, where are you guys hiring these people?
Say that again.
Where are you hiring the people? I know you have a process.
Right now it's a referral. We're gonna get the last two from people who work for us.
Okay.
Same day.
Okay. Should we just go end to end? Where to hire, how to hire, etc.? Okay. Let's just go end to end.
It'd be interesting to me just to understand everybody's number of sales. What's the sales team look like in terms of numbers too?
Like how big they are? Yeah. How many people have direct sales set up? I know you guys do. But anyone else? You do?
Direct is in,
Direct cold calling and emailing.
just started.
We're just starting. And you do? Yeah. How big are your guys' sales teams?
3.
3? And I know, I just want to make sure everybody gets the information. 2. Okay. And the volume of deals is like every quarter, not every month, right?
Mine is every quarter.
Yeah. And then yours like closing
Monthly.
monthly. Yeah.
It's every quarter trying to make it monthly.
Yeah.
That's the direction I'm going.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
Monthly,
Month. I mean, yeah.
2.
2.
Well, yeah, we just had a new sales director.
Okay, so let's put like a really easy goal for everybody to just track to. So let's say a $2 million new revenue every year, $2 million sales department. I would do like, depending on your deal size, 1 to 2 SDRs, 1 to 2 closers to get the 2 million. Because that's 100 grand a month each. Totally doable. Some of you have like 20K, 30K price points. It's like 3 deals. It's not hard. What's hard is managing the expectations and being patient and actually analyzing the pipeline properly. Right, the emotional processing. So you want to make sure you're getting people like that.
Sorry, 2 million, 1 to 2 salespeople plus 1 to 2 SDRs.
1 to 2 SDRs, and then 1 to 2, I would say 2. 2 AEs. Quota for a lot of these AEs, if you want to just like find people fast, is going to be $1 million a year. But the better people are like $2 to $5 million a year. And if you can get the $2 to $5 million a year and they're high volume, then like that's a really buttoned down person.
But that's a hard one to find.
Yes,
Very hard.
but it's worth it.
What is the approximate?
Because they'll build
cost of-
every business you have, right?
Cost of this sales guys as a percentage of revenue?
100K base, 10% commission. So let's actually break that down. So different types of people, right? And we talked about this yesterday. You got the SMB market, you got the mid market, then you have the enterprise, and then we have the whale hunters. And then I think we're looking at 500K quota, and then 750, 1, and then 1.5 to 2. And then their base will be 10% of their salary, or of their quota. And then their commission will be 10%. So they'll get 20% of their quota. You don't have to do it that way. You can play with the numbers. Different things motivate different people. But that's pretty standard.
Bring to the table.
Sorry?
Does the AE just bring in, just follow the leads from the SDRs?
Yeah.
They don't bring anything else to the table?
Good
Just
AEs will.
collect
Good AEs will.
all
Good AEs, yeah, they won't care for the
bring
SDR's leads.
relationships,
They bring relationships, but more importantly, they bring a willingness to cold call.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like a good AE will be like, oh, thanks for the SDR leads. I'm going to get to that last. I'm going to build my own leads, build my own book of business, and then also, when I have time, do the SDR stuff.
So, and that sort of hybrid's 100, or is it more?
No, so 50 if their quota is 500K. So based on the quota, you can reverse engineer it.
I was thinking, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So a good like SMB account executive will have hit 500K year after year after year. And they won't have like 6-month stints at different companies because they're not getting pipped. They're like, this is my life, this is my bread and butter. I don't go drinking on the weekends, I make sales. Very different type of person.
So sorry, just on that note, commission is 20% on first year?
10%.
Sorry, 10% on first year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And longevity in the company previously is more than How many years?
It should be a couple of years at least, like 3-4 years. Yeah, because you want someone that'll come and stay and produce for you for years, right?
And typical wrap-up time is around 2 months, 3 months, or first month.
A good AE will come in and close low-hanging fruit, like first month. Like they'll call all your deals for the past 12 months and try to find something to close. Because they know the business is doing well. They know you have revenue. There's no reason they shouldn't help someone, right? So 1-2 months, yeah, yeah. They're gonna push your expectations on sales cycle, right? They're gonna be like, no, what do you mean 3 months? They're gonna be like, I'm closing this month, it's my money, give me my commission, right? It's their kid going to college or their family having a nice steak dinner. So it's different. Okay, so based on how you're structuring your go-to-market will dictate what kind of account executive you get and what kind of SDR you get, whether you need volume or not. This is high volume because it's low ticket size. This is very low volume. And so you can't decide who to hire until you know these things. Does that make sense? And so first you want to decide those things. Hey, do we need one whale hunter and one mid-market person, or do we need 2 enterprise market people that just do like 10, 20 deals a year? What's the actual math breakdown?
Have you seen hybrids?
Yes.
Or going,
Yeah.
is it a rare beast?
Is it what?
Rare beast when you need to
No,
have mix?
if they're good. So among the unicorns that we're talking about, most of them will close different types of deals, right? Like if there's a $1 million deal on the line, this SMB guy is not going to be like, no, I don't know how to do that. He'd be like, let me do it. Yeah. But the leads, you want to be able to feed them from the marketing and everything. You just want it very consistent, so their confidence just keeps going up. Make sense? Cool. Okay. So if we're trying to add $2 million, and the same math plays out up to 10, and I would just do 1 to 2 SDRs, 4 AEs, but just with bigger quotas. Does that make sense? Because as you're here, your marketing will start kicking in, and then like you'll get 1 more leads, and the volume will go up.
Is it somewhat averaged across all of the industries and the products, or I have a couple examples in the past where we had 0 SDRs and we reached 14 mil in 5 years.
Yeah. You don't need SDRs.
I don't
But so the-
have SDRs,
Yeah.
only
Like good SDRs will graduate to E.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Also depends on the market and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
Well,
it's not universal, that's the point, right?
it's not universal. It's not universal. Ravi was just asking the specific question. Yeah. But you can do with just AEs. But then you got to have very, very resilient AEs that don't burn out from cold calling, et cetera. Because most AEs will.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Or they have a consistent good flow of the leads, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Without SDRs, and then you kind of optimizing this thing.
Yeah.
I think there's also another thing. I think one of the mistakes that I made, which was colluding the sales and marketing function.
Yes.
So assuming that the AE will run the list and do something, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that is why I kind of came back with like, I'm not really, like a good salesperson is not a good person who can manage the list and do all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's very tough. Because they're foot soldiers. They're on the ground fighting the battle. They're not going to make strategic decisions
Yeah.
from that state of mind.
Yeah, or even like, oh, they're going to run the campaign and do that and unsubs and whatever. Right?
It's very tough to find a person like that. Yeah. Okay. So that's here. Let's say we're just building like a path to hiring these people. You don't have to hire these people. I recommend getting A's at some point. I think that's really key to get you out of sales. Because at some point your demand will be so high that you have to change it. Okay. So what do you guys want to learn about first? How to hire an SDR or AE? Or discuss, not learn about. We can talk open forum. SDR, anyone? SDR?
Do it. Start from the beginning.
Yeah, start from the beginning. Okay. How many of you have your like mission, vision, values lined up already in like a document? Any hands? Yeah. Mission, vision, values. EOS. I guess that's the. No one else? No one cares? I didn't care for years. I thought it was completely useless. until I found out that's how I get rid of people that I don't vibe with
That was
and
the
keep
biggest
myself
thing, was
happy.
when I realized that it made hiring work and become scalable.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah,
There's your $100,000 thought.
there we
Sounds
go.
like, oh, woofy, foofy, whatever. Then you're like, oh, this really matters.
Yeah. And you can just build a cash business and not making meaningful and mission, vision, values based until you need to get to that promoter or operator stage. So I see why people don't think it's important. But when you're hiring this, like, it's super important. So on your job description, you want like your mission, vision, values. And it's not because you want them to feel good. It's because this is what you guys are doing in the world. This is a quantified approach to it. You need to know whether or not they're excited by this, and then if they can help you achieve this. And that should be most of the conversation when you're talking to this person. Hey, are you excited about deploying more solar faster?
Well, and for me, the values, I want to make them as rude and offensive and obnoxious as I possibly can. So all the wrong people leave.
Can you use some examples?
Well, so, we have apply first principles.
Mm.
If you don't know what first principles are, please opt out,
Mm-hmm.
right? We
Okay.
have, so we,
Get educated if you haven't heard, or
yeah.
get out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Those are really key. Amazon used to, I don't know if they still do this, but when they interview candidates, they're like, write your life story according to our values. And they're not seeing what the life story looks like, they're seeing how long it takes for them to write the life story. Because when you actually live according to those values, you're like, yeah, this is what I've done. And it's like a 30-second thing. Everybody else are like, well, can I come back tomorrow with like a one-pager? Because they're like, how do I figure this out? So that's a really easy way. So what we're doing right now is, how do you write the job description? How do you get it out there? How do you vet people? Those are the 3 steps we'll look at. And then we can also look at like ramp up time as well. So job description, to promote it, vetting, and then performance. So mission, vision, values, then roles and responsibilities. So the role, you want to define it, because AE can mean you're cold calling, AE can mean you're not, right? So you want to take that same KPI thing that we had, say what KPIs are going to be accountable for, and then just put it in the role. Hey, you're going to be dialing this many dials a day. You're going to be, responding to this many leads. This is how many closes we want you to get. This is the conversion rate you need to close at every month for your performance, and it's going to be in like a one-on-one metric that you're going to review. You want to scare off the wrong people. Most people don't want to see numbers.
That's what I mean. Make it scary.
Yeah. Because the right people are like, yes, finally.
Yeah, I actually start to remember the things when we were scaling from 30 people to 60 people, and the whole thing to find the leaders in the certain groups. That's where conversation about the mission vision came to play. Prior to that, nobody cared. Like, we hustled, but after that, yeah, it's kind of when you start talking about it. Yeah, then that made sense, and that's, I think, what helped us also grow further. So.
And just hire right to begin with. That's so much easier than hiring and firing.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, and way less expensive, and way less emotionally taxing, way healthier. Lifestyle gets better, like so many different things. Okay, what else do you need on here? Compensation, just do the 10%, 10%. It's very standard for base to be 10% of the quota, so just outline the quota and just have 10%, 10%. And then perks. People expect perks now, but a good salesperson is going to make so much money they don't care about what they get. And so I would not go too deep into perks. But you want to go like, you want to give them whatever your perks are, but not too much.
Perks? Is that like PTO or is that?
PTO, virtual happy hours, like gifts that we get once a year. People do like white elephant parties. Whatever is your company culture, you kind of want to have in there. People like especially in the Valley, they're like, well, do you have a ping pong table? And do I get unlimited PTO? Because all my friends are getting it, right? So that's what I'm saying, don't following the perk route. So yeah, so you just outline that, and we have a template for this. You can grab it from the portal. This is all in there. And then you want to just promote it. I like AngelList. That's where all the startup-y people go. So they're expecting things are not going to be put together. It's not fully built out systems. They're not guaranteed cash. They have to build it themselves. And then Indeed is great too. Indeed it is. And then, any other job posting site, and then obviously your networks. Get everybody in the company to post about it.
You're easy with LinkedIn for that.
Yeah, LinkedIn, just post on LinkedIn and have everybody share it.
Well, I mean for the, because I guess, I think there's also, like,
LinkedIn jobs. Yeah, you can post on LinkedIn too.
I think it's new, isn't it?
You're basically just getting a landing page for the job and you're just driving traffic to it. So you can put it wherever. Okay, for vetting, I know, Brian, you guys are doing the tests, right? I like that a lot,
Criteria, yeah.
the criteria tests.
We don't put anyone in sales, or we're not looking at anyone that doesn't have an 80% score on their sales aptitude.
Nice,
Anything below 80 is just, not gonna be a paid player.
nice.
What is that test that you have?
It's called criteria for sales. And they test aptitude, sales, integrity, everything, so.
And Ravi, he put me through that test too. He was like, you're not just getting, full rights on anything. I'm making you take that test. And there's the two guys that that they had to review my scores and then see how good I was or not good I was. But I passed, so I'm okay.
Well, yeah, so far it's been helpful at weeding ones out that we learn about.
Which is the most taxing part?
We just implemented, we've worked with a boutique sales company that set up our sales system and helped us. They came in for like a 3-month contract. So it was a test that they used. So it identified what I kind of already knew about, it confirmed what I already knew about our current AE. And she's not a strong sales, she's more of a concierge. So she'll get stuck in the fulfillment, taking care of the clients, making sure their planes are booked and all this stuff versus the outbound efforts of reach out and calling. So it helps us to identify what we really want for that role.
Can you give it to existing salespeople?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I would do all of it. The computer skills
Yeah,
test.
I can show you
Yeah,
a PDF
if you have a link
printout that
and
shows
can
you.
share, that would be great.
The computer skills test for salespeople is huge. A lot of sales get lost because of organization. And when people can't do Excel spreadsheets or just follow up on emails, like, it's huge. Okay, so I would do the tests, and then I also like to do a culture quiz. So I'll have them go through, and so I won't put all the values here. I'll put like the key ones, and I won't write them out as values. I'll write them as part of the roles of responsibility to attract the right people. And then I just have a binary, and you've seen this, Ravi, the binary culture quiz. So, hey, do you think like this or this? Do you act like this or this? What do you believe with this or this? And you can, if they're not a perfect match for your values, they don't even qualify for working with you. And then I do like a 2-interview process. And so either someone on the existing sales team will take the first one, or I'll take the first one, then I'll do a follow-up to see if they show up with the data that they want to show me of how they close and how well they close and what they did and the war stories, and then get into that. And then what's their level of certainty that they're going to close in the first month, and are they overconfident? Assessing those things. And I can usually tell those things because I'm like, I know what I need to be thinking to close a certain amount, of this month, at least 6 figures. So like if someone's not thinking that same way, I can assess that. You usually want to, if you can't do that yourself, just bring in someone who can and just to like shadow you on that call. Because it won't, if you haven't done it yourself, it's hard to know if someone's telling the truth or not. Like what it takes to make it close a $10 million deal, they're gonna be like, yeah, it'll be fine. You're like, okay. Why are we not talking about the details of the deal? Like, right? Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
do any personality tests, and have you found any specific personalities that work best for salespeople?
No. They either do it or don't. I thought it's something you could teach, but it just takes so much time to teach sales. You know, unless it's a founder, I don't think it's worth it. And so you shouldn't burn out your executive function on teaching sales to sales reps that should have already learned. You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It'd be like hiring a product person and be like, oh, let me teach you how to build product. Right?
You surprise how many organizations do exactly that.
No, right? Yeah. But that's just a different approach to the market.
It totally sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then the performance, right? So I'll do like a 30-day and then a 60-day and a 90-day check-in. Once a month, I'll check in with them. I'll look at the KPIs we said they were going to hit. If they haven't hit those KPIs, they're out. If they have hit their KPIs, then they keep going. And then by 90 days, they're like reporting to me the KPIs and excited and all that stuff. And then every day I make them report their numbers. So I do a daily huddle, what they did yesterday, what they're doing today, what the roadblocks are. End of day, how many calls, well, it depends on their function, right? But how many leads, calls, sales, demos, closes, cash collected, revenue collected. How are they feeling? Energy 1 to 10. How's their focus 1 to 10? And then any reflections they have on the day to help them emotionally process. If the reflections are like a page long, I'm like, okay, this might be an issue. They're not self-regulating properly. The reflections are like very good takeaways for what they need to improve on or what systems they need to improve on. Then I'm like, okay, this is a person I can work with. This is a person I can respect and that respects themselves. So that's what you're really doing during this stage. I like testing out 2 at the same time, and usually one's going to work out. Rarely 2 works out, but that's also great because works out means they're making you money. So, you know, it's fine. And then you just want to shed them as you go. But if they're showing up to calls and they're telling you stories, like it's game over. Like, you don't want that kind of person. You're like, yeah, well, I had these 3 calls, and then this guy might buy, and this guy's going to buy, and you're like, well, how many calls did you have? How many demos did you have? How many sales did you get? What's the pipeline look like for next month?
I told you like 2-3 days ago I fired a guy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So that actually it's a very valuable point, and to the group actually we had 2 reps, in 2 different states, and I was basically benchmarking both of them. One made 350, 400K, and the other made $20,000. And you could actually get on a call and clearly see in like 5 minutes why he was underperforming.
Yeah.
Story, if only I had it, oh it is summer, I didn't get a meeting with that. The best performing, and you told this actually, the best performing guy performs, the underperforming guy, there is always a reason.
Results are reasons why.
Results are reasons,
Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it, yeah.
You either hear results from sales reps or reasons why there's no results. And when the reasons why pass the results, then it's a big culture issue. So that's why you just want to check in daily, weekly, monthly. So daily you have that check-in. Weekly you want them to say how many closes they're going to have that week or how many demos they're going to have. They need to like shoot their shot or whatever Babe Ruth did, point in the outfield, call his home run. And then you want to make sure they hit it. You want their say-do ratio to be crazy accurate because that's the self-confidence that they build within themselves. That's actually the skill of a sales rep. This is what the week looks like. This is how many of this I'm getting. And then if they can't get it by midweek, they're hustling to get it, right? Versus like, oh, you know, it's just sales. We got a long sales cycle. We're an enterprise company. You know, it just takes a while. It takes you a while. If I was there, I'd be closing it. So that's the weekly. Then monthly, I'll do like hey, this is what is my pipeline. This is my gap between where we are and what the company goal is. So I need this many leads. I need this many calls. I need this many sales. This is what I can contribute to that gap. Then the entire team is talking to each other. Okay, who else can contribute to the gap? How do we all make sure the goal is exceeded, not just hit? Right, so that's a monthly thing. But like, if someone's telling a story, like you never get to the monthly thing, right? You never get to the analysis of what do we need. It's what do I need? I need more. I need a better vehicle or a better sales process or a better offer. It's like something that I just don't have. It's the market, it's something, right? There's always some excuse that we can come up with. Internal, external, or the vehicle that you're in.
Do you do this as a team or do you do it individually?
Which one, the monthly?
All of them.
These are all as a team. Yeah. The 30, 60, 90 I'll do individually. Just the monthly check-ins, one-on-ones. And I use a scorecard for that. So our scorecard is how well are they performing with the vision, values, and mission? How do they rate themselves? How do we rate them? What is their like personal success in the role? And what is their growth path? What do they want to learn? And then what are the KPIs that they need to hit, and are they hitting those KPIs? That's like all in one sheet that we can give you guys have a template for it. And so once a month I'm checking on that. If I don't want to do that call, then I know I need to fire that person. Because then I know, because when I get on the call, I'm going to hear all these stories about nonsense. And you're like, okay, like now I'm a storyteller instead of a business owner.
What, when you're SDR, and we're not SDRs yet, right? These are AEs or the others, both?
Both.
So the SDRs are hitting numbers but not converting as much. Do you focus on the numbers or you focus on the numbers?
You're saying top line numbers, but the bottom line, so their calls, outbound calls are there, but their closes aren't there, or their converted calls? No, focus on both. They're responsible for both.
So technically, you say, hey, we're doing 100 calls a day,
Yeah,
but here's what I care about.
yeah.
3 SQLs or whatever it is.
Well, we care about both. Because 100 calls a day will set up the pipeline for next quarter. And the SQLs are the pipeline for this month. Right? Because the calls are like, you leave a voicemail, you send a follow-up email, you send a text, whatever. So you need both.
It seems to me that you would do quantity first and then quality.
You gotta do both at the same time.
Yeah, ideally, but
This is the NFL.
You gotta
We
get
gotta
the
fight.
numbers, what you see, then tweak it,
yeah.
the
It,
message.
Not ideally, really.
Without the-
Not ideally.
with-
Let's not normalize
okay,
this.
so-
Really.
So if I'm doing it, I actually have a low quantity, but they're all moving, right? So you could just look at the bottom line numbers and be okay, maybe,
For this month,
but it,
but not for the quarter of the year, the next 5 years. You're building pipeline now for the 100 million, not for the goal this year. That's the outbound.
I still think my way's better, but
I think your way's better for right now, but is that where you want to stay, right?
We're looking at both, but
Yeah.
we need to figure out how to, it's not figure out, but it's more, hey, because my conversation with them is to say, hey, I don't really care how many calls you're making, this is what I need. If you need to hit that number, you need to make more calls, you do it.
right, so if they didn't hit the quantity, but they had the right at the bottom line, you wouldn't care, because they spent an hour on a call that's a high quality call, right?
That's correct.
And so
It's the bottom line.
it's the bottom line that matters, but if they don't have the bottom line, they damn well better have the quantity right, and then you're gonna like dig in on the quality, right? That would be.
If they don't have the bottom line, they should be exceeding the quantity to make up for it. Does that make sense?
That's what I think, but
Yeah.
I think I think what Jan's saying is that, if you're not getting the quality, and you don't have the quantity, then
Then you're out. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
but let's say that Phipps is doing this, and he goes through and he doesn't make 30 calls, he makes 3 calls, and he has an hour conversation with each of them, and they move to demo and they're ready to go. I don't give a shit that he didn't make 30 calls.
So you guys set the KPIs. but then you have to set a KPI for that, right?
Yeah.
So each person has very specific KPIs to them and their capabilities. So if Phipps is not an outbound guy, he's not going to make outbound calls.
He is now,
Sure.
but
But then if he is now, then you got to measure him on it, right? Does that make sense? They either have it or don't. They either have pride in their numbers or they don't. They either close sales or they don't. It's in a good market, this is different. I would still be saying the same things, but I'd be like, you guys can make mistakes and it's fine, and like you'll probably still make money. But in a market like this, like you got to be on top of it.
And who's really ideal for doing qualifications? Obviously SDR, I just want to confirm. Who does the qualification?
It depends on the skill level of your team. Yeah, so some SDRs just book the calls. Some SDRs will triage, but they have to be able to triage. Because that's when you shorten the sales cycle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we push these.
So do you provide leads for the
SDRs.
SDRs, or do they do their own thing?
Both. I provide too many leads to my SDRs personally right now, so they're now chilling. And they're not doing the outbound stuff, so they're getting a little soft. So you got to push them to do both. Yeah.
What about outsourcing your SDRs to like a call center to do all that?
I don't like how that affects the sales cycle. Because if you have control over that first call, you can really shorten the sales cycle just by giving them the aha moment immediately. And the outsourced departments, like they'll switch out reps on you. They'll not follow the script 100% of the time. They'll say it's good enough. Like, they'll give you a little pushback. If you have a good partner that you treat like an internal team, maybe, but I've never seen it work.
Experiment for 1 month max, and we've never seen it work.
Yeah, okay.
Eventually, you want everything internal, because that's when you control costs. Yeah.
So I have a buddy doing something
Sure.
interesting. It's actually more so text-based.
Sure.
So he's in Dubai, and he's selling. He's actually white labeling service for another company, but he's selling. It's like joints for houses and buildings and stuff. Each deal is at least 120K, and he's been doing WhatsApp outreach. And so he has an entire team of about 6 to 10 VAs. And what is it, Scientology, that has like the book of every question they could possibly answer, and it's got a glossary for that.
Sure.
He created something like that for any possible objection. And so he has the VAs essentially go through and message all these people that he pulls from, ZoomInfo or LinkedIn, what have you. And from
Wait,
there,
what we should do is do that during the go-to-market segment and talk about that then. Because right now we're doing hiring, right?
well, this part I was just going to talk about is just how even he can use VAs for $6
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
And depending on what kind of stuff that he gives them, they can actually pre-sell almost all of it.
Yeah.
And then
If you get the language patterns right.
yeah.
Yeah. But for enterprise deals, it's tougher to do that over text. Like, it's going to be a conversation.
Yeah, it's totally what I don't. It must just be.
It's a commodity versus a custom integration. Right? The joints are like, you can expect a joint. Versus like, is this company going to integrate with my company?
And it's international,
Yeah.
so I'm sure it's a bit different than that.
Yeah. I mean, most people have like clients all over the world, so it can work. I like the VA thing. I used to do it myself. Made the SDR's life a lot easier. Too easy. So, yeah. Okay. Does this make sense? Any questions on each piece?
Do you reference check? Do you check the?
Yeah, check 2 references for each one. They're going to give their, right? Yeah, I made that company $15 million. You're like, well, how? Well, call this guy. The guy's like, this is the greatest guy ever. You're like, okay. That's weird. If he's actually the greatest guy ever, he's just like, hire him. Go for it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's say reference checks here too. I also want to know in the reference checks, what kind of people does this guy associate with? Right? Like, are those people, like, what identity do they have? What excuses do they give? Like, are those people full of ownership and integrity or not? Because even if he is, if his circle is not, or she is, or they are, like, if the circle's not, they're going to fall back into those patterns. And they'll produce for like 3 months, then off, and then on, and it's nuts. Yeah. Out of all of this, the tests usually do the best and filter out just the nonsense. Because it's just objective. Okay, helpful?
On the vetting, so one thing I'm finding is that it's really hard for someone to come in that hasn't done our training to sell it. So we kind of have to offer that. And what kind of structure would be, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But looking at a structure, does that deduct from sales for the training, give it free? You know, what's a good way to look at that, I guess?
The best people will buy it.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's very hard to find someone that committed, though.
yeah.
But if you can, that's great. That doesn't apply for everybody else here, right? Like, your sales reps aren't going to be buying your products. But I like finding those
It's
people.
kind of like, if you're selling skydiving and you haven't skydived, it's probably really hard to convince people.
Yeah, I'm scared. You're like, yeah, you should be. I haven't done it either. You're like, wait. Yeah.
If you jump out of planes, you can probably sell really good
Yeah.
professional skydiving.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure. Yeah, the people inside the industry itself or have used the product itself, they're usually just naturally good at selling. Because they had to convince themselves through it. And so when someone else has fear, it's easy to empathize with them.
I like the test too, because fear is one of the problems. When if you have a position that you need filled right away, right, we'll get somebody. And that's where the founder wanted to hire me immediately, and I might have not have been the person for that position. And I like what you said, you're taking the test. We don't know if
Still on
she's...
that test.
No, that's good. That's good that he did that though. That's objective, because out of fear-based, he didn't just hire me to fill in a position.
Yeah.
And instead, he did the right thing of not being in fear and making me take that test.
Yeah.
And then having the two main guys evaluate me after the test.
Nice.
And so I like that, so there's no partiality or favoritism.
But also it gives you confidence. You're like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here.
Yes, it
Right?
does.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you made that part instead of, it being very objective.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You do the test first before you have the interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
before even talking to them, they need to take the test.
Yeah. Because the interview is expensive, right? You have a per hour cost on that.
Yeah, there's another one called Cultural Index. It's a little pricey to get set up. It's $7,000 or $15,000 a year for the testing platform. So criteria is a little cheaper. You just pay per test. So.
But everyone that I know that's scaled to like multiple 8 figures tests
Yeah.
with a like sales team focused product. The tests really did it. Yeah. They'll talk about the test for like hours. Like they're so excited about it because like they're like, this is actually the thing that got us there. Okay. What was the other thing I would add to this is audition classes. Like especially if you're in growth phase, you want to be able to do it every 3 months and have a path for X amount of people to go through. One, your vetting process, but also the 30, 60, 90 daily, weekly, monthly cadences. And so you just want to build up the sales team ahead of your revenue coming in if you have the cash.
So can you elaborate more on the audition?
Yeah, you're going to reverse engineer your revenue number by the number of sales reps you have. So you want to hit 50. You have people with $5 million quotas. You need 10 sales reps. So you want to audition like until you get to 10 that are like validated. So for a week, for a month, whatever it takes to reverse engineer to that goal. So you have enough time to vet them. You want to go through that. This guy, Chris Orlob at Gong, he helped Gong scale to like 200 million. I think he was a director of sales or VP there. He has some really good content on that. I would check that out. Yeah. Yeah, so let's say audition cycles. Yeah.
Have you know when using like to keep salespeople focused on profit, use a commission deducted base?
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works for you.
So it's base and then commission kicks in lieu of your salary at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it deducts like say if you're paying them 100,000, you had 10,000 on commissions, it deducts against their
Yeah.
base, and then once they get their base paid off to the company, then they're essentially making a profit.
Yes. But your systems have to be really dialed in for that. So that way they can know they're guaranteed to exceed that. Otherwise, some sales reps get demotivated. Yeah.
So that's interesting. So you're saying you get 100,000, but every commission they get gets deducted from that 100,000?
Yeah, so just like a business, whatever, they treat themselves as a business, so they get into a profitable state after their base is basically paid off by the commissions, and then they're in profit, just like a company would be in profit.
Their base is like a draw against their commission.
Yeah.
And that's how you hire?
No, it's just we're toying with the idea.
Oh, I do that. It's great.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get your sales employee thinking about profit versus, they're thinking about what's my profits, and that translates to what's the profits for the company.
How exciting is that for?
For the right sales rep, it's exciting.
Yeah.
For someone that closes $5 million a year, $3 million a year, they're happy.
We're gonna sidebar on that.
Sure. Okay, for everybody else, anything else that you guys want to go over on the sales hiring side? You guys feel like this is a good enough starting point for you? Yeah? Once you just start running it, it gets very easy. The annoying part is like getting yourself to do all this stuff, right? Because you might find yourself negotiating, well, do I really have to do my values, or do I really have to do the 90-day thing he's closing now? But sticking to it just makes it so easy and repeatable. Then you can get a person to run this entire process for you. Operations manager, chief of staff, whatever. Then you're out of sales. That was when it was really fun for me. It's like people are going through the audition process, money's being made, the wrong people are being fired, the right people are being hired. I'm getting reports every day popping up. I'm like, all right, this is business.
My ops guy takes care of this after, because I don't want to be an operator forever.
Yes, so your operations manager or chief of staff would take care of it. Yes, yes. And take care of like as many metrics as possible. Yeah. Okay. Good? Yeah? Cool. Keep it going. Yeah, we got time.
How, long do you go through this audition process before you typically will land on the sales team? Because you're gonna be churning sales people.
It depends on the
Is that
size.
negative to the team? How does that work?
It depends on the size of the team. But you're always running an audition process because you're always growing if you're doing this right. Right? So you just want to. The core of this is your cash cycle. How long does it take for that lead to close? And if that's really short, if you can make that really short, then you can validate this super fast. Then you just want to hire sales reps as fast as you can deliver product.
Right. And I'm just thinking about, do you layer it, right? Or do you take two and you go, okay, one's gone, now you hire two more. So,
Yeah.
and the second part of that too is, as you go through this process, what does that do to the fear of the team? Because they're seeing this happen.
The fear of the current team?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or the
yeah.
team that you hire, and how much do you push fear on them that you might not get the results you want?
Well, no, you want to scare them off. So the right ones will be like, "What do you mean? This is how much I closed this month. This is what I'm going to close by the end of the week." Right? So it's just a different type of person you're looking for. As far as stacking versus not stacking, it just depends on the rate of scale. So I would just check out the Orlop stuff on that. Because Gong, I think, was pretty easy to deliver. There was no custom integrations or anything. It was just like a self-serve thing. So scaling to 200 is pretty easy when it's like that. But when you have to do the implementation and the onboarding and the partner integrations and all that stuff, it's just the capacity to scale is a little different. So you just gotta make those decisions. But again, you need like 4 reps. You need like 4 AEs that are good, and you can get to a good clip. Yeah. And then, I think, assess what you need to get to 20, and then assess what you need to get to 100, and just have the layering based on that. And that's based on the guardrails too. Cool. Okay. Any questions on this stuff? I can send this later on, the SMB mid-market, enterprise quotas, and sales math. Any questions on that? Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, cool. That's what we got. I think we can take a 10-minute break. Great job, guys. But I think we can take a 10-minute break before Eli hops on, and then he'll do a little sales presentation, and then we'll break for lunch, and I'll probably order in. So, and then we'll kind of go from there.